It was a dark and stormy night in New York City. Like, it was really, really dark and really, really stormy. And there I was, walking as a stranger through the bustle of the crowded streets. I was alone, hungry, wet, tired, unarmed, lost, and in a great mood. I was really enjoying the vibe of the place. I mean, sure, it was scary, and the clouds overhead were almost supernaturally dark and threatening. But this was a new experience for me, and I was determined to take it all in, unbiased by negative misconceptions of weather warnings or silly signs of the apocalypse. I was just relishing how lost in the moment I was, and how fully I was seizing the day, when I noticed a man sitting on the corner of the street. He was wearing rags, was sitting on a cardboard box, was sipping from a bottle in a paper bag, and had a small sign that read, "Love is all you need." I'm not certain, but I thought that he might be homeless. I walked towards him quickly, ready to cross the street and trying to avoid eye contact. I mean, I had money to spare, but I wanted to save that for souvenirs and trinkets that I could show all my friends on the West Coast. But of course, the crosswalk was red, and I had to stand right next to this old, possibly homeless guy, waiting for the light to change. I could feel his eyes staring at me, judging me, daring me to ignore him. Something about this made me slightly uncomfortable. I felt the need to give him something, but I didn't want to give him money, so I gave him the next best thing that I possess: good advice. I looked down at him and said, "If you get a job, you might not be homeless forever." Oddly enough, the guy didn't seem too grateful. He just stared at me from the wrinkled mass of his face, peering up at me from his beanie hat and tattered scarf. Then he opened his mouth and spoke. "I'm not homeless." "Oh," I said. "I'm sorry for prejudging you." "It's okay. I know I look like hell, but I have a job." "Oh, I'm so glad." I actually wasn't glad. I was just saying this to be polite and keep the conversation going while I waited for the light to change. "Are you going to ask me what my job is?" "No, I was actually just going to stand here and hope you stopped talking to me. But now that you've mentioned it, what job do you have?" "I sell things." The homeless-looking, but not actually homeless man pulled a box from out under his blanket. "You want to buy something from my box of goodies?" The box was old and wooden, with 3 6s on the top, and carvings of naked people burning alive on the sides, and a metal lock that said "Cursed" on it. I shrugged my shoulders. "Sure, seems harmless. I'll buy something from you." "Here." The man unlocked the box, reached into it, and pulled out a fidget spinner. "No way, man," I said. "I've always wanted one of those things, but I can never find them anywhere. How much do you want for this fidget spinner?" I paid him $10 and grabbed the fidget spinner from out of his hand. I have to say, this may not have been the happiest moment of my life, but it was definitely in the top 10. Definitely better than any of the garbage my parents had ever gotten me for Christmas. "Wait," said the old man. "Before you spin it, I have to warn you." But the light had changed, and I decided I would walk away quickly. And of course, I started spinning. I kept walking throughout the city, in the dark and through the rain, spinning my fidget spinner over and over and over again. Forget vacation. This was the coolest thing ever. It was only after several hours that my fingers started to get tired, and I figured I should probably take a break from all this spinning. But I didn't stop. I kept spinning it again and again. I stopped for some food at an old New York diner, but the whole time I continued spinning the fidget spinner, never letting it stop. I couldn't even enjoy my cheeseburger or garlic fries. "Okay, this is getting crazy," I told myself. "Stop spinning this stupid thing." I consciously willed myself to stop, but I just couldn't. Now I was getting slightly alarmed. What was wrong with me? What was wrong with this thing? I stared at the spinner as it spun around, and I realized that I was never going to be able to stop. No matter how tired and bored and depressed I got, I had to keep spinning. It was like some type of drug that my body couldn't stay away from. I made it back to my hotel room and collapsed on the floor. Tears rushed down my cheeks. I sobbed. My finger was now so tired that it was shaking each time I spun my fidget spinner. I should have seen this coming. I should have known what would happen. But it was too late now. I was stuck. And I could never, ever, 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 ever stop spinning over and over and over and over again.